Hello everyone. So this is the last part of the first chapter of Lakshmikant historical background part 4, and we're going to complete the chapter in this part. So let us start. Indian Independence Act of 1947. On February 20, 1947, British Prime Minister Clement Attlee declared that the British rule in India would end by June 30, 1948. So, on 25 1947, the British Prime Minister, who was Clement Attlee, declared that the British rule in India would end by 30 June 1948, after which the power would be transferred to responsible Indian hands. This announcement was followed by agitating by the Muslim League demanding for the partition for the country. After this announcement, the Muslim League demanded for the partitions of the country. Again, on June 3, 1947, the British government made it clear that any constitution framed by the Constitutional Assembly of India, formed in 1946, cannot apply to those parts of country which were unwilling to accept it. So the British government made it clear that after the independence, the part of the country which are not willing to accept our constitution will not be forced to accept it. On the same day, June 3, 1947, June 3, 1947, Lord Mountbatten, the Viceroy of India, put forth the partition plan known as Mountbatten Plan. So, on 3 June 1947, Lord Mountbatten, who was the Viceroy of India, had put forth a partition plan that was known as Mountbatten Plan. The plan was accepted by the Congress, and the Muslim League. Immediate effect was given to the plan by enacting the Indian Independence Act of 1947. Now, the features of this act are: first, it ended the British rule. That is definite. The British rule was ended in India and declared India as independent and sovereign state from August 15, 1947. So India became independent on 15 August 1947. It provided for the partition of India and creation of two independent domains of India and Pakistan with the right to secede from the British Commonwealth. So India was divided into two independent dominions, India and Pakistan, and they both were having the right to secede from the British Commonwealth. Third, it abolished the office of Viceroy. It abolished the office of Viceroy and provided for each dominion a Governor General who was to be appointed by the British King on the advice of Dominion Cabinet. His Majesty's government in Britain was to have no responsibility with respect to government of India or Pakistan. It empowered the constituent assemblies of the two dominions to frame and adopt any constitution for their respective nations. So it was empowered the constituent assembly that they both, the India and Pakistan, can adopt any constitution for their respective nation and to repeal any act of the British Parliament, including the Independent Act. It empowered the constituent assemblies of both dominion to legislate for their respective territories till the new constitution were drafted and enforced. So, no act on the British Parliament was passed after August 15. No act was passed by the British Parliament. August 15, 1947 के बाद ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट ने कोई एक्ट पास नहीं किया था, was to extend to either of the new dominion unless it was extended thereto by the law of legislature of the dominion. Sixth, it abolished the office of Secretary of State for India, abolished the office of Secretary of State and transferred his function to the Secretary of State for Commonwealth Affairs. So all the functions of Secretary of State for India was transferred to the function of Secretary of State for Commonwealth Affairs. It proclaimed the lapse of British paramountcy over the Indian princely state and treaty relation with tribal areas from 15 August 1947. It granted freedom to India princely state either to join the dominion of India or the dominion of Pakistan or to remain independent. So it granted the freedom to each state of India that either they can join the dominion of India or they can join the dominion of Pakistan or they may remain independent. It provided for the governance of each of the dominion and province by the Government of India Act of 1935 till the new constitution were framed. The dominion were, however, authorized to make modification in the act. So dominions were allowed to make the modification in the acts. It deprived the British monarch of his right to veto bills or ask for reservation of certain bills for his approval, but this right was reserved for the Governor General. The right for reservation of any bills or to monarch any bill was reserved for the Governor General. The Governor General would have full power to assent to any bill in the name of His Majesty. So the Governor General can pass any bill in the name of His Majesty. 11th, it designated the Governor General of India and the provincial governors as constitutional nominals heads of the state. They were made to act on the advice of their respective council of ministers in all matters. It dropped the title of Emperor of India from the royal titles of the King of England. Now, it discontinued the appointment to civil service and reservation of post. The members of civil service appointed before 15 August 1947 would continue to enjoy all the benefits they were entitled to till that time. At the stroke of night of 14 to 15 August 1947, the British rule came to an end and the power were transferred to the new independent dominions of the India and Pakistan. Lord Mountbatten became the first Governor General of the new dominion, and Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of independent India. The Constituent Assembly of India was formed in 1946, become the Parliament of Indian Dominion. Then some notes and references, and the chapter is going to complete right here. The Mughal Emperor Shah Alam granted Diwani to the company after its victory in the Battle of Buxar. The Mughal Emperor Shah Alam granted the Diwani to the company after his victory in the Battle of Buxar in 1764. It was introduced in the British Parliament by then Prime Minister William Pitt. At the time, civil services of the company were classified into convenanted civil services, means the higher ones, and unconvenanted, means the lower civil services. The former was created by a law of company and the later was created otherwise. Subhashi Kashyap, this is not. The system of budget was introduced in British India in 1860. The system of budget was introduced in 1860. The declaration thus stated, the policy of His Majesty government is that of the increasing association of Indians in every branch of administration and gradual development of self-government institutions with a view to progressive realization of responsible government in India as an integral part of British Empire. This was done on the recommendation of Lee Commission on the Superior Civil Services in India 1923 to 24. The Indian Independence Bill was introduced in British Parliament on 4 June 1947 and received the royal assent on 18 July 1947. Then the act come into force on 15 August and 1947. Then we became independent. The boundaries between the two dominions were determined by Boundary Commission headed by Radcliffe. Pakistan included the provinces of West Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, East Bengal, Northwestern Frontier Province, and district of Sylhet in Assam. The reference of Northwestern Frontier provinces and Sylhet was in favor of Pakistan. This is all for today. I hope you like the video, and Telegram channel is a link in the description. Go and check it out. Thank you.